name's Amelie and welcome back to my daily readings for the arts. If you haven't seen my previous videos, go watch them all. This is the last one, so complete the set, I dare you. Usually at this point I would say remember I'm taking requests, so if there's anything you'd like me to read, I will, but this is the last one. If you ever have things you'd randomly like me to do, just a random reading video, just tell me and I will do that. Please donate if you can. My Just Giving page is down in the description. Anything you can would be highly appreciated. Now, because I didn't manage to do a reading yesterday and because, you know, this is the last one, so let's be frivolous, I'm going to be doing 2 readings today. First, I'm going to be reading an extract from one of my favourite books, Noughts and Crosses by Malorie Blackman. Little side note, because why not interrupt myself for one last time? The Noughts and Crosses TV series that was recently on the BBC is absolutely incredible. I think it's still on BBC iPlayer. It really opened my eyes. As a white person myself, I was like, Jesus, it's beautiful, go watch it, I beg you. Callum was running now, faster and faster. I watched my best friend tear away from me, his hands over his ears. What was going on? I carried on walking up to the house, my head bent as I tried to figure it out. Persephone, inside now! My head snapped up at the sound of my mother's voice. Mother came hurtling down the steps, her expression dour and fierce, as always. She'd obviously not had as many glasses of wine today as she normally did, otherwise she wouldn't be in such a bad mood. I turned back to where Callum had been, but he was already out of sight, which was just as well. Mother grabbed my arm with bony fingers that bit like pincers. I've been calling you for the last half an hour. You should have called louder then. I was down at the beach. Don't be cheeky, I told you not to wander off today. Mother started dragging me up the stairs behind her. Ouch! I banged my shin against one of the stone steps where I'd been too slow to pick up my feet. I tried to bend to rub my bruised skin, but Mother was still dragging me. Let go! Stop pulling me, I'm not luggage. I pulled my arm out of Mother's grasp. Get in the house now. Where's the fire? I glared at Mother as I rubbed my arm. You're not to leave the house for the rest of the day. Mother entered the house. I had no choice but to follow. Why not? 'Cause I said so. And stop asking so many questions. I scowled at Mother, but she was oblivious, as always. To her, my dirty looks were water off a duck's feathers. The warm, wonderful afternoon was excluded from our house with the closing of the front door. Mother was one of those refined women who could make the quiet closing of a door as forceful as a slam. Every time Mother looked at me, I could feel her wishing I was more ladylike. Like my scabby big sister Minerva. I called her Minnie for short when I wanted to annoy her, because I knew she hated it so much. I called her Minnie all the time. She loved our house as much as I hated it. She called it grand. To me, it was like a bad museum. All cold floors and marble pillars and carved stonework, which glossy magazines love to photograph, but no one with half a gram of sense would ever want to live in. Thank God for Callum. I hugged the knowledge of how I'd spent my day to myself with a secret smile. Callum had kissed me. Wow. Callum had actually kissed me. Oh, wowie zowie. My smile slowly faded as an unbidden thought crept into my head. There was just one thing that stopped my day from being entirely perfect. If only Callum and I didn't have to sneak and creep around. If only Callum wasn't a naught. Next, I am going to be reading a poem that I have loved since I was a little kid. So this is The Owl and the Pussycat by Edward Lear. The Owl and the Pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pea green boat. They took some honey and plenty of money wrapped up in a £5 note. The owl looked up at the stars above and sang to a small guitar. "Oh, lovely pussy, oh pussy, my love, what a beautiful pussy you are. You are, what a beautiful pussy you are." "Pussy," said to the owl, "you elegant fowl, how charmingly sweet you sing. Oh, let us be married. Too long we have tarried. But what shall we do for a ring?" They sailed away for a year and a day to the land where the bong tree grows, and there, in a wood, a piggy-wig stood, with a ring at the end of his nose, his nose, with a ring at the end of his nose. "Dear pig, are you willing to sell for 1 shilling your ring?" Said the piggy, "I will." So they took it away and were married next day by the turkey who lives on the hill. They dined on mince and slices of quince, which they ate with a runcible spoon. And hand in hand, on the edge of the sand, they danced by the light of the moon. The moon, the moon. They danced by the light of the moon. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have watched every single one of my reading videos, an extra big thank you to you. I hope you've enjoyed this reading and all of my other readings. So, for the last time, goodbye.